I came home from China in February or March of '46, and I was only home a couple of days, and I found myself up on the desert leveling land. Zeke got me a job with his brother, and he leased a great big D8 and a scraper, and I felt like I was on a locomotive. Anyway, I leveled land up there for about 6 months. Then I came home and bought him out, and I farmed for about 8 years, dry farmed in Southern California. It was always mostly future industrial land. I farmed ground that I didn't even know who owned it, but I kept it clean and it looked good all the time, and made a pretty good living. I did really well in my 20s and early 30s, but I had it. Then we came to Colorado in, it's the spring of May of '54, I guess. Went to work for an insurance company, and the old man said, "Do you know how to fly?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, you better learn." And anyway, he sent an airplane out, and I liked that. I learned how to fly. I spent $16 to get my pilot's license. And I don't think you could do that today.
But tell us how you came to work for MacArthur and what brought you to the San Luis Valley.
Well, I was running out of land in Southern California, and I knew it, and I went to Nevada. Land was a little cheaper in Nevada than it was in California. And old Dan Child was running a bunch. He was my roommate at Poly. And we took all the show cattle to Sacramento and stuff when we were pretty young. Anyway, Dan was running a bunch of cows for a guy by the name of MacArthur, who owned Bankers Life and Casualty in Colorado. And Dan says, "Oh, you don't want to buy a farm here. Well, this outfit's got a land up in Colorado." And about the second time I went up there, he says, "I got 2 tickets on the airplane. I want you to meet this guy MacArthur." And I said, "Well, I'll take a ride on the airplane." We went to Denver. And we were in a hotel right next to the depot, and it was kind of a second or third rate hotel, the Oxford. And he was upstairs talking to some guy about $1 million deals, and I thought, what kind of an outfit Dan? I really didn't believe him. I thought, what kind of an outfit did Dan get mixed up with? Anyway, to make a long story short, we went to Chicago that night and stayed at his house. And then, anyway, they said, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, they offered me a job." I said, "I'm not looking for a job, you know." And they said, "But what do you want?" I said, "I want a farm." "Oh, we'll give you a farm." And I thought, boy, nobody ever gave me anything, and they never got around to it, but that's what they said they'd do. So I worked for MacArthur from, I guess it was '54 to '57. And I did learn how to fly, and I learned about lettuce coolers. I built a lettuce cooler for him in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I guess I learned about lettuce coolers just by snooping around and looking at the other ones, and that was brand new in those days. And he didn't know it, but I saved him a lot of money building those plants.
They used to ship lettuce by blowing ice around it, is that right?
Yeah, when I first went to Colorado, they used to cut lettuce in the field and haul it to a shed, and they'd put it in a cardboard carton, and then put a layer of lettuce and a layer of ice, and then nail a lid and load it in cars. And then they started vacuum cooling. You'd put it in a big tank or retort and pull a vacuum on it. In effect, you'd take it up to 70,000 or 80,000 feet, or wherever water boiled at 33 degrees. And as the moisture left the lettuce would get cold. And it was carton lettuce. They'd pack it in the field in cartons, and that was a brand new concept. And we had the first lettuce. The old man bought the first cooler in Colorado, and it never had operated before. A Texan had built it. And MacArthur bought it. We ran 960 carloads through that the first year, and it was a single tube, and the only reason we didn't know we weren't supposed to. That was a lot of lettuce for a single